Hi guys, so today I want to talk a little bit about fasted training. The reason I want to talk about fasted training is because with so many gyms locked down, people are concerned about the adaptations and the progress they can make when it comes to their training. And yet this is something so simple that we can all do on a day-to-day basis or on a periodized basis to give us overall metabolic health benefits, but also our training adaptations as well can be benefited. So when we do fasted training, we are basically keeping our insulin levels at baseline, meaning that they're not increased through carbohydrate ingestion pre-training. When our insulin levels are at baseline or at low levels, we are in a state where we are going to start oxidizing fat as our fuel source when our sympathetic level of nervous activity increases through training. Now, it's important to be aware that when it comes to exercising in a fasted state, our actual ability to perform high intensity exercise is limited, and we are so therefore forced to do lower intensity levels of exercise. When we perform low levels of intensity exercise and at that aerobic exercise, we are in a place where we start to produce a thing called mitochondrial biogenesis. That is the growth of cells that have an oxidative capacity and function. So at a muscular level, we increase the oxidative capacity of our muscles to take in more oxygen and keep us in a state of lipolysis, that being fat burning as our main source of fuel, as opposed to carbohydrates. Carbohydrates are mostly oxidized at levels of intensity above 75% of our VO2 max. So when we are in high intensity exercise or resistance training with sporadic bursts of high intensity effort, we tap into our glucose levels or our glucose stores, being either plasma or glycogen depending on the intensity and the duration. However, when we increase the oxidative capacity of our muscles, we end up pushing out that point where we start to feel our muscles burning and fatiguing because we're not using glucose or glycogen as our source of fuel, and we are using fat as our main source of fuel. So obviously it's beneficial when it comes to increasing our length of time where we can perform levels of effort before we start to fatigue or tire out. So overall, we improve our capacity to train, and we also have the luxury of beneficial health benefits such as increased lipolysis, meaning burning our fat as our source of fuel, and also an improved lipid profile. Not only this, but it's also been shown to improve our insulin sensitivity, improving the ability of our muscles to uptake glucose and protein as our source of fuel, and stimulate muscle protein synthesis for overall body composition benefits. So it's really important to be aware of those differences when it comes to fasted training versus not fasted training, and why performing fasted training on certain mornings of the week can have overall benefits for our health and our physiological level of muscle adaptations. Now, when it comes to post-training, what should we do when it comes to our diet? And it's really important to be aware of the key enzyme P70S6 kinase, which helps to stimulate muscle protein synthesis, or plays a vital role. So it's really important to take in good sources of lean protein and carbohydrates to help re-establish P70S6 kinase's function when it comes to muscular adaptations. So important to not fast for too long, to not, do your training and go off to work or forget about it until lunchtime. It's really important to make sure that you're getting your protein and carbohydrates in afterwards to help to stimulate P70S6 kinase to make those adaptations.